What's up, everybody? So this week again, we're going to talk about the expected move for the stock market. Per usual, on this Saturday video, I'm going to go over IWM QQQ SPY. We're going to look at the options chain. We're going to see where market makers have their risk priced in, kind of what we're expecting for the week. But I did want to talk about something real quick as far as the S&P, because we've had such a strong rally. So we bounced out of this. Now, everybody knows the statistic. If you miss the best 10 days of the market, you miss out on like most of the gains, which we might have even just seen here. Maybe we start the rest of the grind up. It's kind of as it sits right now. So we talked about this crash happening last year, and I'm 2 for 2 for crashes. If I ever come out and talk about a crash, it's not something I take lightly, and I haven't been wrong yet. Of course, there's only been 2. That being said, we got the official crash in the Russell and the NASDAQ, but the S&P actually only pulled back. We made 2 correction. Sorry, the S&P corrected. Anything above 10% was a correction. This pulled back 14%, and it actually does remind me of 2018, 2019, where if we do pull, so we're on the weekly chart right now. Yeah, and if you look right here, imagine if we spend the rest of the year just doing, next part doing this. We got the pullback. This actually already came back. An argument could be made that, on a smaller time frame, that was your high or low. Weekly, we based out, and then we just started to grind up. So maybe we're seeing this right now. This was the week before last. This was last week. Maybe this next week is the pullback, which we did talk about on the Don Franz show last Sunday. Was this last week wouldn't be as much, and then we get the real pullback the following week. It's going to make my show actually pretty complicated to talk about. It's going to sound a whole lot like flipping back and forth because I have to remain bullish until the red candles come. But I do hope we see some at this point. At this point, it's a hope. I hope we get an actual pullback so I can buy along. But if we looked right here, I think this actually only crashed, if I remember right, like 12%. Let's go from the peak to the low. Yeah, just right at 12% on that one. All right, now, so here was your all-time highs. So let's just check that out. Here's your all-time highs. You can see we actually cracked it just a bit. You would have thought the markets were fine. Fear is out the window. Everything is good. A minor hiccup. We continue the trend. But they said, just wait. Turns out we actually have to crash. Like, it's part of a thing. It's part of a market cycle is we need to crash. A crash is 21%. Some would argue 20. I don't care about the 1% part. But if we go from the peak to here, there you go. Just over 21%, we got the crash. And then, we pushed back up. And then to remind everyone what a crash is again, there was the Rona. Dropped it down. Smacked it again to all-time highs. So we kind of have one of 2 scenarios probably about to play out in the market. So we got the pullback. Now, do we just go up and keep going, or do we crack just the all-time highs and then actually officially get that crash? So just something, again, it's neither here nor there because there's a lot of, we're on the weekly chart. That's a lot of trading days inside there. A lot of days to just be long, few days, good solid couple weeks to short the market. And that's it. And then once we get this candle up here, hopefully we're already short. If you do things the way I do, you'll put your stop in the green and then you trail it. So if you already were short because it was just a red week, you should be shorting. The red candle showed up. Your stop is in the green. It would have just never tagged. You'd been on that whole ride. You would have done just fine. Maybe that week got you out and you should have jumped right back in because at that point the trend is just down. Yeah, you would have been good. You would have probably capitalized on this. This volatility box might have got you. Actually, I remember talking about that volatility box. Anyway, kind of what I'm thinking right now is, are we going to pull back? Are we going to start that grind up? And are we going to just skate by this whole thing without actually seeing the S&P crash? That's not something I do believe. I do think we will get that official crash. Now, this actually happened in October. If you guys do remember, they called it the Red October. There was a crash a long time ago that happened in October, so now everybody thinks it's the Red October. So you'll typically see a bunch of fear-mongering around that time anyway, so whether it's self-fulfilling prophecy or not, that's definitely a good spot to keep an eye out for, potential-wise. Again, this is for traders, not really investors. So let's go over. Let's bring up this. So this is TOS right here. This is their options chain. Now this is something free to download. Their data is free, and I would actually never recommend to trade with them. My bot trades on them. I use them for the options chain, but their charting platform, it sucks. There's no other way around it. But their options platform, I think, is just the best. I wish if TOS could ever listen to its followers, I wish they would. So far, their data is actually on something completely old. They have to revamp the whole entire thing, and no one wants to do that. So they're going to keep the old crappy charting system. The person who actually helped design their platform only cares about options, which really shows in their platform. So it's awesome. But anyway, long story short, you guys can have this with whether you're going to use it to trade or not. Still free data. Now what we're looking for right here is the expected move. Again, long and short, that's where market makers have their risk priced in. Getting outside of that on just a typical bell curve, you know, where this is Tesla, we're expecting a $63 move. You guys know the curve, so 67% chance we will stay inside that range. So $63, that's a $130 move, you know, plus or minus 63 to each side. 95% chance we stay inside 2 standard deviations. So that's what we're talking about here. When we get outside that first standard deviation, that's where you start to see gamma squeeze. You start to see delta hedging. Market makers, they got to start doing their job. The algorithms got to turn on. So that's why I say they're not supporting resistance lines, although you'll probably start to see a lot of interaction at these levels. Those are algos kicking in. The only thing that changes is it gets significantly more volatile on the outside. Let's just get them really fast. As far as the S&P goes, we're expecting, again, a $9.02 move for the S&P. Let's go QQQ. So we got 902, 1030, and IWM is 565. Let's go chart these out really quick. Let's go 565. That is a weak move. As you can see here, we just stay inside. IWM is very efficient. That did show it off pretty well, though. So we're just staying, not resistance, but we stay inside. There was one week we cracked, yeah. So we got outside of it, came right back in. They said, hey, I don't want to do my job today. Bring it back. Stayed inside. Got outside. No. Now, this is a number I've made up inside my head. These are my numbers. Driven from nothing but just pure experience. I'm just going to put a number out there in thin air. When we get outside, I think it's an 80% chance we rein it back in. 20% chance we get crazy. Now, see how it took like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we were getting outside. You know, take profit Friday, they reined it back in. That 20% chance is small and so big at the same time because while it took us 4 days to get there, it'll take us 1 day to get to that second spot. When they start squeezing and delta hedging and start buying up shares to hedge, it sends things pretty quickly. So the volatility is huge, is noticeable. Let's get back to it. This was 565. So I'm just grabbing a ruler here. We're just going off that. What? Is nothing going on this week? Why is that so low? That does seem... Wow. That's interesting. I guess if we bull flagged it up, we could push it, chop around. There you go. And IWM is the interesting one because if we do look at the Russell, we're hanging out. We're just sideways. So bull flag or reversal, we're bullish above, bearish below. Definitely an interesting one to watch out for. This is one I'm, you know, because we didn't reject right here, so instantly the sellers did show up, but we're hanging out. Tells me the sellers had zero follow through. The buyers told their friends. Either way, we know what tilts the scales. More buyers it goes up, more sellers it goes down. It was in the burden of the sellers to say, hey, this is where we're selling this. This is where buyers should take profit. But they got some pushback. At that point, that starts to lead to like a bullish continuation. Now, it is a zone, a rejection until it's not, but when I start to see it hold like that, I do start to look for the continuation. So it is something I'm looking to be bullish on, you know, bar. I guess except, you know, maybe Sunday we open up red. We're here. Monday we break it back down. Then I'll be short. What was QQQ? 1030? Oh, wow. Man, it seems like I'm missing something here. I'm missing something, or... I like when Tesla has these small moves, or Amazon, because I don't mind delta hedging. I don't mind squeezes. I like that volatility. That is where money is made. But this seems like a pretty small move. So again, what that tells us is there's not pricing much. There's no excitement. Maybe there's some surprise volatility. Putin does something. Anyway, any new tweet can come out and send this thing. We get outside here, we'll go 2 standard deviations pretty quickly, especially on the Nasdaq. Maybe we got one more week after stocks push up like this. They pull over or they pull back. Maybe we're just pulling over for a week. Definitely interesting to see. As far as SPY goes, I gotta check and see what the fill was on that. What was it, 902? God, we're expecting nothing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those all seem small to me. So what that sets us up for is some bad news. Sends it down, we get outside, and it's a volatile week. Headlines full of BS. Next thing you know, we're pulling back down to that yellow zone pretty quickly. So that'll probably be our expected move. Jump us down 2 standard deviations down there. So I guess all I need to hear. Be on the lookout for that. We're pricing in nothing moves this week, so maybe we're just going to be very quiet or crazy. I guess it's always your option. Next candle will always be red or green. So that's the name of the game. Anyway, hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up. You guys know all the cool stuff all the YouTubers say. You've heard it all before. Just do it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.